It dawned on me a minute ago, I was so focused on what took place this morning with training the babies that I wasn't really paying attention to the fact that I didn't give you an update last night. So on my way home, it was kind of a chilly night. I thought it was going to be worse, quite frankly. It wasn't horrible. It was a little chilly, a little cold, and then snowed towards the end of the night. But we did have a pretty good night, all things considered, at the track. Emerald Dio was a winner last night. Now, Emerald Dio, I think, might struggle with the class above this at Northfield Park. I have to see what's available for him in Pennsylvania also. Decent horse, but always holding back a little bit, holding back. He's got a sweet gait. He can accelerate when he wants to, but the maturity and the growth of this horse has been sporadic. And he was good last night, no two ways about it, but I don't know that he can jump right up into the class above this and do. I'll talk to Jason on his thoughts of it. I guess they probably, not today's Wednesday, they don't draw till Friday, maybe Thursday. So we'll think on it and figure out what we're going to do with Emerald Dio, if anything, or we're just going to put it back in to go. But a decent night last night from him. Also, Never Lose Felix, a little flat. I would dare say he might be the trotting version of Emerald Dio, somewhat. Maybe Emerald Dio's got a little more depth to him in the pedigree department. I don't know. But Never Lose Felix, he just, he feels like he's not present all the time. Here's a horse that could have been an okay second. Instead, he was a bad second. Now he still fits the mate. We were talking about potentially putting him in the series that's ongoing right now. What's it called? The 100 Myers Memorial that's on right now. It feels so weird saying that. I'm just going to call it the Iron Maiden because that's what it used to be called. So, honestly, just kind of a flat second place finish. Now, is he a little bit short? I guess, maybe. We'll likely draw his blood and see if anything else was up, but quite frankly, happy with the second and disappointed with the output, I guess is the best way to categorize it. Overall, though, a second's a second, and the horse raced all right. And then Blue Ventura, I had an email from a number of clients this morning. One of them actually, the gentleman that kind of tore a strip off me the week before to say how well he raced. And, I still stand by what I'd said last week. A horse coming off a mile and 56 as decisively as he did 3 starts ago should have been able to sustain being parked at quarter 27-3, backing up half and 58 and a piece. I could see him being a beaten third or fourth, but to be beaten the way he was and then have his blood come back, yeah, he tied up a little bit. There were some anomalies in his blood, a few little things, but nothing, no glaring issues or anything that would definitely emphatically tell you this is why he raced flat, which leads me to think that he only raced flat because I kind of used him real hard. And if that's that, then I guess we know what he is. He's just an okay horse that does not appreciate or like being exposed, and you have to drive him accordingly. We've had a number of horses just like him over the years. There's nothing wrong with that as long as you're aware of that. And now that I am aware of that, most definitely, that will be the last time he will be parked at the quarter 27-3, if at all possible. So a decent night with 3 okay horses. Emerald Dio raced okay, finished second. Never Lose Felix raced okay, finished second. Emerald Dio won, I'm sorry. Okay to win. Never Lose Felix okay to be second. And actually, when you look at the entire race, Blue Ventura was a very, very good second, but racing on his terms. We can simply work together to make sure that he is as happy as he can be in the race, because I'll tell you what, any room at all the last 3/8 of the mile, and he absolutely jogs. He raced very, very good to get through. Wiggle, tight spot for a big colt to get through down the lane too. He kind of just shot right through there and ended up racing very well. So a win in 2 seconds with a decent crowd tonight. Now, last night. Now, heading into today, I'm pretty optimistic about Arrowhead, Hanover, and 3 Point Blue Chip. I think they're in good spots. Now, my only issue is Arrowhead's got some got some tough aged horses in with him, so it's not going to be a cakewalk. I think of the two, 3 Point Blue Chip has got an easier run of it today. We'll see how those two horses race. Then coming up later on, Mountaineer Prince is going to race his first parimutuel event of the year. Justin Irvine's going to drive him. The race coincided at the same time with 3 Point Blue Chip, and I just thought driving 3 Point was more important. Then we have Mounts for All, Memory and Imagination. Memory and Imagination is coming in good and sharp and doing good things. Mounts for All is coming in with, well, there's no two ways about it. His AST, his muscle count still has to be a little bit high, so he can't be anywhere near 100%. But he is coming in. He's coming in sharp. We'll see how he races tonight. We'll see if he can overcome a mildly high AST. I shouldn't say mildly. I have no idea what it is right now. I think it probably settled somewhere around 4,000 or 5,000 6 days ago. So whatever they can reduce that number by over 6 days, that's what it's at tonight. I know that Stacy worked very, very aggressively and very hard to get it done. So I expect he'll be in decent order tonight. Still not near 100%, but decent order. Yo Mister's dropped down in class tonight and looks like he's in a good spot as Freedom Hill is going up in class. I believe up in class, but still looks like she's in a good spot. So good day of racing. Most of the horses we have in today are fairly low odds morning line, and it should be a good day across the board. Tomorrow's going to be a little more difficult. Resolve Indeed's in a good spot, but Grand Slam Dio's GGT or liver count is actually elevated from last week, so we've been treating it. It's still jumped. It is a problem. I see James, speaking of jumped off her and Chicago Hall. I told James I would drive Chicago Hall, but neither of us told Dominic, and it came out Jody Jameson, which is just fine. Jody will get along great with Chicago Hall on Friday. That's fine. I'll be in Ontario. I'll be a spectator just like you. But Grand Slam Dio, James jumped off of her, and it's going to be a frustrating night. Hopefully Phil can work out a good trip with her. We have Westland Warrior at the Meadows. I hope Aaron is driving him. He is. He is 9-2 on Friday. Texong Soprano, Chicago Hall, Manhattan Money. And then Saturday, I'm back in town for Aunt Lily. Gorgeous Package and Rosa and Alexandra. In Ontario, we have Rosa and AJ. Neptune and Trosa. Harry, I just got a message from Harry minutes ago saying that Trosa didn't eat his breakfast today and had an elevated temperature, so there's a chance he may end up not racing today. The only good thing is it's 48 hours away. We'll see what Harry decides over the next 48 hours, but as of right now, the race for Trosa this week is potentially in question. Now, what I was focused on today was the babies. They trained great. We dropped them a little bit today. The slowest set went 225. The fastest set was the Pacers. They went 217. Everybody went good miles in between. Now, not everybody was perfect. I can tell you this. I'll preface the entire statement about the sets today, the entire dialogue, but with this. I think I wasn't disappointed with it's loud. I wasn't disappointed with one horse today. Not one. There were some horses that made breaks. There are some horses that I'm going to train on Friday morning myself before I leave for Ontario because I want to get a little closer look. But I am happy to report that nobody was bad this morning. Emerald Tom, Love Sensation, Neuromancer, Aunt Sarah, Royal Flush Dio, Pretty Eyes and Lies, Supermind went today. I believe the winner was who? Aunt Sarah, maybe. I didn't see it because I made a break with Neuromancer coming to the half. It was odd. Amy said he was a little ornery, little ignorant today in the burn, and that carried on to the racetrack, so maybe he was a little under the weather. He didn't train his best today and made a break. That will put him back in the principal's office, so to speak, for Friday. But I believe Royal Flush Dio, he took the hobbles off him, made a break going under the wire. I believe it's an easy fix. Other than the break at the wire, I believe everybody did their work rather well, and I was really happy with what I saw. Now, I would like to tell you who won the set, but I don't know. If I was to guess, I would say Aunt Sarah, Emerald Tom, or Love Sensation. But I know that everybody said they were good. Actually, Supermind was in the mix also, and he trained well. Jason was happy with him, but nobody actually fessed up as to who won the first set. Doesn't really matter. I went a mile in 2:25, and I was way back, so they probably went a mile in 2:21, if I was to guess. A good set in set number one. Set two with the Pacers. I told you guys, Diosa Della Downza is no joke. I came from 5th to 1st with a big brush at the quarter pole, 34 seconds. We backed the half up to 111, 3/4 are like 134, and we went a mile in 216, 217, something like that with the Pacers. They were all 6 of them right across the track, which was uplifting to see. I got up the inside with Diosa Della Danza to win the set. Sweet Lake, Perfect Thought, Millie Girl were across the track. Highest Honors was right beside them, as was My Name is Wayne. All 6 right across the track, all within a length and a half of one another, going under the wire. Really, really happy with the entire set. But Diosa Della Danza looked very strong today. I was really, really happy with them. Set 3. Uncle Danny, He's a Fearless Peter, Judy's Money, Go Strong Hanover, Blue Rare, Rosa and Bobby, Tomboy Strong. Everybody stayed trotting. Tomboy Strong came first over from 4th and beat everybody. Go Strong Hanover was right beside her. Uncle Danny was on the outside of them. In behind them was myself, Rosa and Bobby, Blue Rare. Everybody was right there, those 5 in a pack. Just behind them to the left was He's a Fearless Peter and Judy's Money. Everybody in that set, Rose Run Bobby also was right there. We have 7 in the set. All 7 finished within 2 lengths of one another. I was really happy again with what I saw. That mile was 2:21, last half of 1:06, and they all looked very, very good. I was about to say I won with Megan's Lucky Day. I think Amy picked me off with Perfection Hanover at the wire. We were trotting and pacing very hard going through the wire. Just behind us was AC/DC, Royal Duchess, Don't Ask Again. Now, Leland Hanover, I thought I saw a little wrinkle in him right front today. So I told Eric, just train him by himself at 2:35, get a decent mile into him, and then I'll head to the veterinary and look at him. As it turns out, nothing was found. She went all over him with an x-ray, couldn't find anything, hoof testers, nothing. So I'm not going to say there's nothing there. I still thought I saw a little wrinkle. Could have been a bruise in his foot. Could have been a million things. There was no heat, no swelling, no soreness under palpation. Nothing found. So we're going to put a little blister on Leland Hanover, and he too will head to the principal's office on Friday. Not a bad thing. I just want to get a real close look at him, see how he feels. Set 5 went out. Jailbird jog. I think the hobbles were a hair too long, and Amy went with her. She made a little break down the backstretch, but was fine afterwards. Rico Tubbs made a break in the last turn. Eric said, he's trotting great, and he just rolled off. So it was kind of weird. As I said to him, I said, well, we can take the bell boots off and put hobbles on him if you want. He goes, well, trot's pretty good. I said, but he did make a break. So let's get him fitted for a set of hobbles and see how he is. There's a couple of horses that trot good, but are they going to be able to push forward with the confidence they need? Possibly. They may not. But we have a number of sets of hobbles getting fixed up and refurbished right now. I'm doing all that. And easily Rico could slide a set onto him. Had to know all 4 feet had tiny pus pockets in them. All 4. So I think we've moved from why our horse is having quarter cracks to this being a singular case. Everyone else is cleaned up with no issues, no residual issues over the last 3 weeks. But here we are with head to nose. So we're going to have to work harder on him. I just sent Johnny out to jog him. There's no point pushing him today and bothering him. Zena Kemp was great. Degas, I won the set with in 2:23, I believe. 2:23. Degas, Zena Kemp was right there, and Cherry's Girl was on the outside. With all 3 of those horses finished together. Jailbird Jog had recovered and rebounded and got to us in 4th. And Rico Tubbs was in 5th. There was 5 in there, right? Yep, 5. And then the last set in New York, no hobbles on. I lost him starting into the backstretch. He still went a mile in 2:25. That set actually went 2:20. Capistrano Knights got up to beat Jolene Hall just in the shadow of the wire. Captain Doolittle in New York and Joe J. Fotag were in behind. I opted not to go with Steady Bolo today as these were a little warm. I just didn't think that it was proper to push him. He's starting to be a big, big, strong colt. And I want to make sure he's at 100% before we start pushing forward. So that's what took place today. Very happy. Who's going to train with Anthony on Friday? In New York? Check. We'll train with Anthony. Joe J. Fotag? Check. There's 2. Jailbird Jog is 3. We'll train with Anthony on Friday. Leland Hanover is 4. 4 trainers for me on Friday so far. I might train Rose Run Bobby with the hobbles on too. Potentially 5. But no one else from that set. It was a great set. none of the Pacers. They were all great. And then in the set, so we're at 5. Neuromancer is 6. And Royal Flush Deal is 7. My dance card has 7 horses potentially on it for Friday, but none of those 7 are really in a bad way or in any sort of trouble. Just want to get a look and see if we can help them out a little bit. So there. Now you have it. You're all caught up. Horses raced good last night. I hope they race great today. We have a lot of racing coming up over the next 4 days. The babies are coming along nicely. It's turned out to be a decent sunny day here in Pennsylvania. Wish me some luck. We are racing in just under